Hello, Fuzzy here. Look what we got there. That is a 2022 Bonneville Speedmaster by Triumph. Absolutely gorgeous motorcycle. It's a 1200cc high torque motor, cruiser style. Absolutely, I call this a true luxury bike. Everything about this is high end. Just a phenomenally beautiful motorcycle. I've been driving around the Minitropolis here, and this thing has torque from idle on up. You know, Hades to heaven, as I like to say. I mean, you just let the clutch out no matter at idle, and it'll just pull away. No gumptions of. I mean, this is the kind of bike you want for cruising. Two up, anything. This is my favorite style of bike, by the way, cruiser. But this is the everything about this bike. I mean, just look at that. The mirrors, the headlight, LED headlight, the brakes, look at the chrome exhaust system. This is not stainless, this is chrome. All the way down. Brushed aluminum. Everything here is brushed. The milled ends on the fins. It's a liquid cooled 1200cc engine. These are faux carburetors, faux airbox, faux oil tank, you know. It's just absolutely gorgeous. The bike has a monoshock. It looks like a hardtail, like a rigid, but it's got a monoshock down here, adjustable. Chain drive, 6-speed gearbox. Okay, I'm getting out there. Let's start with the engine. 1200cc high torque version. It's got 4 valves per cylinder, 8 valves total, single overhead cam. It's liquid cooled. Cranks out about 78 or 9 horsepower, and I think about the same amount of torque, 78 or 9 foot-pounds of torque. The thing about the torque is full torque starts at about 4,000 RPM. So, you know, if you idle at 1,000, 1,200, at 2,500, you've already got probably 70 foot-pounds of torque. Like I said, I was driving around the town here, and it does not want for torque. It has more torque than anything at the bottom end. More torque at the bottom end than anything I've ever ridden. And very easy. That's the thing about a cruiser. Very easy to drive, very compliant, very eager to just go. You know, it's not it's what I call, you can drive lazy on these. They're just phenomenal. 6-speed gearbox, I think I already said that. The faux carburetors. This here, it looks like a transmission separate from the engine. This is actually a cover. It covers up the chain sprocket, and the brake master cylinder is in here. You can remove this to get a look at that, to check your fluid. This is a faux oil tank. And if you go over to this side, here it is again. This is the battery case down here. Isn't that neat? The stainless steel strap on it. More of that brushed aluminum. Just absolutely gorgeous. Just absolutely gorgeous. Metal fenders, front and back. The quality of a Triumph is just second to none. You know, the details are everything on these bikes. Look at this foot gear. You know, just everything is, nothing has been left. You know, everything is top notch. Just sparkling, good looking. Even the foot gear for the passenger, you know. Everything is just the best. This giant single seat with a lumbar support pad. Chrome bar for the grab bar. LED turn signals and tail light. Beautiful adjustable levers. Absolutely gorgeous motorcycle. Okay, I'm pining on it, aren't I? Suspension on this, these are 47mm tubes. I don't think I've ever seen a bike with tubes so large. About 3.5 inches of travel on the front. The rear has, I think, just under 3 or just over 3 inches of travel. It's a monoshock. The brakes are Brembo. These are axial mount. That's a 2-piston. Yep, 2-piston floating caliper on each side. So there's 2 pistons on one side, the caliper floats. Very stylized disc brake. Absolutely gorgeous. I love these cut-off pipes, angle, you know, slash pipes. The red is so deep, maroon almost. I mean, absolutely beautiful. Look at this. I'm getting all emotional here, aren't I? Anyway, I love the back end. The whole thing just oozes of style. It's an ultimate bike. This is I'd be afraid to get it dirty. So the bike has forward controls, cruiser style setup, you know, so sit here, your feet are forward. The bars kind of reach back to you. They're almost like a tiller bar. If you look at that, now I've been driving around town, the bars are low when you sit on it. Look at the difference between your knee and the bar there. But that's not a problem for me. You have very good control with that. Speaking of that, look at all this quality here. Everything here is just, it's got cruise control, by the way. Just everything is polished and finished in some way. Just everything top notch. Cable actuated clutch. A lot of people like that for the feel. You know, we went through that era of hydraulic clutch, and they kind of gone away from that now. But isn't that just a sparkling example of motorcycle? I just love it. So one thing about this motorcycle, I don't know if I can get this to start, but I'll try here, is the sound. Okay, we're in neutral. On Triumph, you have to have the clutch in to start. I hope that comes out on the speaker. Take my word for it, it's a very rumbly, very handsome sound. The bike just oozes quality, everything is finished on this, everything. Nothing is left, you know, nothing is left undone or unquite, you know, everything's just right. I love the color, you know, these off-color, these red-colored spark plug covers. By the way, it's a parallel twin. The stitching on the seat, this piping, this white piping, just absolutely gorgeous. This whole front end, just, you know, look at that Triumph front end on the front, you know, that got the Triumph symbol in the center, and this whole, just absolutely gorgeous. These bikes have, I think they have traction control. They also have 2 rider modes. They have regular, you know, road mode and a rain mode. Look at these spoke. I didn't even notice that. The spoke rims, chrome and spoke rims. Just a beautiful thing. Just an absolutely beautiful thing. Okay, I'm going a little crazy on this. You know what? I'm going to go get my helmet on, my gear on, and we're going to go for a ride. Yahoo! All right, let's take her for a run. Beautiful sound. I want to watch how much torque this thing has. We're just barely over idle. I drove this back up here from the park, and it was just amazing. It's very easy to drive, very cooperative, very smooth beyond belief. Has a wonderful rumble. It really is something. Can you hear that? The mini-tropolis of Marnie, Iowa. Baxter Cycle. We're at Baxter Cycle, by the way. Handling on this bike is just great. The handlebars are low and they're kind of a tiller style, which is different. The forward controls, here, let's do a little spin here. The forward controls are something I'm used to because I have a cruiser like this, similar to this. But just a gorgeous motorcycle. You feel that torque. I mean, it just absolutely gorgeous. Went a little long there, but that's all right. Pulls away easy, very smooth shifting, almost just effortless shifting. I love the dashboard on this, the instrument panel. Big analog clock, clear, easy to read. See what we got for traffic today. It's a very windy day here in Iowa. Hope you all can hear over the wind. What a rumble, what a rumble. Oh yeah. You can't, you know, the torque on this is just phenomenal. You can drive this thing at low RPM so easily. That's really what it's made for, cruising, you know. And it's kind of my favorite type of motorcycle as far as when you want to just go out and enjoy the motorcycle ride. This is the motorcycle. This is the type of motorcycle you want. This motorcycle is a very high-end model, to me anyway. Everything is fit, finished, everything is chrome and shiny and just phenomenal, phenomenal. The ride on this road, the suspension on these bikes are pretty short, 3.5 on the front, I think 3.6, and about 3 on the back. A little voiceover about the Speedmaster. Its engine is a liquid-cooled, 8-valve, single overhead cam, 270-degree crank, parallel twin, with 1,200 cubic centimeters of displacement and a 10-to-1 compression ratio. She pumps out about 77 horsepower and 78 foot-pounds of torque. Her torque starts at idle with full torque at 4,000 RPM. This bike has so much low-end torque that I was able to let the clutch out at idle and she just pull away. Her clutch is excellent and very smooth with great feel. All this torque runs through the smoothest 6-speed gearbox I've ever used. So smooth I don't know what to compare it to. The bike would go from one gear to the next without a sound, a clunk, or anything. Creamy smooth. This is all helped by the ultra nice torque assist clutch. The power gets from the engine to the road via a chain final drive. The switch gear on this stuff is phenomenal. There's the horn. The bike has cruise control. Let's try that. Apparently I don't know how to set it. Oh, there it is, set. You push it once to activate it, and you push it again to set it. Very good, very good. Okay, let's get out of that. To get out of it, you roll off, you pull in the clutch, you roll off the throttle, or you hit the brake. That'll take you out of it. Incredibly nice ride. You know, like I said, it's a very windy day here, and I'm not getting blown around in the least bit. The bike itself is incredibly stable. Excellent pull, like any Triumph has. This is a substantial motorcycle. This is not a heavy motorcycle, but it's substantial. This is a 580-pound motorcycle wet with a 27.5-inch seat, I believe. So you feel very low. The center of gravity is incredibly low. You're supposed to be able to get between 50 and 60 miles a gallon on these things. So 3-gallon gas tank, 3.5-gallon gas tank, something like that. You know, 150 miles before you have to gas up again, 120 miles. But for cruising, that's not bad. I just love it. This is not a hooligan bike by any means. This is a gentleman's ride. You look good riding this thing. You feel good riding this thing. This is comfort. This is style. This is power. You know, power is in torque, not power is in race me. The power is in it'll pull anything. Got the gear indicator there. A little bit of traffic here. Iowa's busiest intersection. It just handles this kind of a thing real easy. Very easy to maneuver. That's that low center of gravity. Very well balanced. Pulls. Wow, does that pull? I did not even have it close to, I just opened it up a little bit on that, by the way. The front suspension is a massive 47mm Showa cartridge fork. The rear is a RSU monoshock with linkage and preload adjustment using a two-sided swing arm. Front and back are 16-inch 32-spoke wheels with a wide 150/80/16 rear tire. The Speedmaster's excellent front braking is done with twin 310mm disc with Brembo 2-piston calipers. The rear disc is a 255mm with Nissan single-piston caliper. Wheelbase is a nice 59 inches. Seat height a low 27 3/4 inches. Fuel tank is 3.2 gallons with 50 miles per gallon, and the Speedmaster weighs 580 pounds wet.
This thing has torque. Wow. Oh, better back off. This isn't one of them small bikes. This thing goes fast quickly.
The bike handles very well. It's not sports bike handling, it's not nimble or quick or anything like that, but it's not slow either. Starting within the garage or in the parking space, the bike's incredibly low center of gravity and relatively short wheelbase. It's 59 inches, so medium length. Makes it easy to push around, easy to maneuver. You have to do a little bit of planning, but not too bad. The big wheels really help with big tires and large handlebars. The parking lot speeds, it'll pull away all that torque. It just pulls away, no problem at all. Getting up to in-town cruising speeds, that's where this thing really starts to shine. The bike handles very well, predictable, easy, doesn't have any quirks. It doesn't, it wants to stay on its tires. It's got the great big tires, but it's also got very wide handlebars. The road speeds, when I got this thing going out of town, I just loved it. The suspension, even though it's got short travel on these blacktops, it worked very well. I thought it was stable. It was a very windy day, and the bike, with 580 pounds, but with all that torque, this bike has so much torque, the wind just doesn't seem to affect it. And it's got a low profile. It's a low bike, even though it is a very large bike. I don't know how it would be on the interstate. I didn't take it there, but I can predict that with all that power, this motorcycle would do very well on the interstate. As a matter of fact, the only two shortcomings I could see for this bike on the interstate would be, one, there's no wind protection, and two, the fuel tank is only 3.2 gallons, and at 50 miles a gallon, you might get 150 miles on a tank if you were lucky. Maybe let's say 130. So that's what I get on my current big cruiser. So I guess that's not too far out of line, but this is an incredibly good-looking motorcycle, and it handles very well in the manner that it's designed to. It's not a sports bike, it's not nimble or quick, but it's not slow or clunky either. Very predictable, very stable, very easy to drive, easy to ride motorcycle. A final thought about this motorcycle is that this is the kind of motorcycle you buy to cherish. It's a beautiful thing. It's a luxury bike. It's quality from front to back, top to bottom. It sounds great, it handles well, it has loads of power, it's easy to ride. If you want to get on a motorcycle and look good, this is it. If you want to get on a motorcycle that you can enjoy the environment, instead of having to worry about driving the bike, this is it. Absolutely enjoyable, top-notch, kind of motorcycle you cherish, the kind of thing you'll enjoy polishing because it's so good looking, the kind of thing you'll enjoy being seen on. Very good looking motorcycle. Good job, Triumph.
Wow, what a bassy note. Holy cow. See, this thing is made for that. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. Thank you, Baxter Cycle, for letting us borrow it, letting me ride it. An absolutely gorgeous motorcycle. Baxter Cycle, Marnie, Iowa. Wahoo! Y'all get out there and ride. Enjoy.